Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Musfira Binte Faraz, and I'm the youngest motivational speaker of Pakistan and the brand ambassador of Edupedia Valley. Today, I want to talk about something very serious. You! First thing, there is no one else on earth like you. Have you ever heard these words? Why can't you be more like your cousin Ariba? Look at Samir. He studies 25 hours a day. Excuse me, 25 hours? Bhai, even the day gives up after 24. You are told to copy others. But at what cost? Maybe you are shy and wish you could be the center of attention, like your friend, who talks non-stop and gets 300 likes in their story, even when it's just a bloody picture of their feet. Or maybe maths make your head hurt and you feel like a failure when others calculate square roots in their sleep. But here's the problem, we start believing that being someone else is better than being ourselves. We try to copy others and lose our own flavor. Like putting ketchup on a biryani. It just doesn't work. Let me introduce you to Sana. Sana was raised like she's applying for a Nobel Prize in shyness. Strict house, no fun, no play, no parties. Even her plants weren't allowed to grow freely. Then one day, she marries Junaid, Mr. Social Butterfly. Junaid is the kind of guy who waves at strangers and makes friends in a traffic jam. Sana thought, maybe I should also try to be loud, bubbly, super social. She tried. Oh, she tried. She joined every WhatsApp group, posted good morning in all of them. But the poor soul got muted for 1 year by everyone, including her husband. Then one day she saw her daughter being told at school, Beta, just be yourself. Sana paused and thought, wait a minute, that's what I never did. And just like that, no magic lamp, no fairy godmother, Sana smiled her real smile for the first time in years. Moral of the story, don't fake it till you break it. Just be it, be you. Number two, smile your way to a good impression. Another important thing in life is a smile. A sincere smile has the power to break barriers, dissolve tension, and create connection even between total strangers. It was hot, chaotic, horns blaring, people bumping into each other. A man in his mid 40s, furious, stormed toward a younger boy, maybe 18, who had accidentally scratched his bike while carrying boxes of socks. The man shouted, Andha hai kya? People turned. A fight was about to start. The boy, clearly poor, looked terrified. But he didn't shout back. He simply looked up at the man and smiled. And then he said softly, Bhai, galti ho gayi. That smile, sincere, calm, human, disarmed the man. His hand dropped, his voice softened. And then the unexpected happened. The man smiled back, took out his wallet, and bought 2 pairs of socks from the same boy. No argument, no backtalk, just a smile and a kind word. And a situation that could have turned violent turned into business, laughter, and connection. You can't fight with someone who's smiling at you like a younger brother in a world full of noise, anger, and tension. Sometimes a smile is the loudest thing you can say. Dale Carnegie said it best. You have got to be Dale Carnegie with all his faults and limitations. You can't possibly be anybody else. Let me add, you can't be Imran Khan if your idea of tabdili is switching from tea to coffee during exam season. You can't be Benazir Bhutto if your version of leadership is saying, "Mujhe remote control do" during every family movie night. You can't be Dr. Samar Mubarakman if your nuclear energy comes from 3 cups of chai a day. You can't be Abdul Sattar Eidi if your version of giving charity is forwarding a WhatsApp message that says one like one dua, one like is equals to one dua. You can't be Dr. Ruth Fau if you wear gloves to avoid catching bites from annoying classmates. You can't be Muniba Mazari if your version of inspiration is sharing a sad quote with a selfie. You can't be Malala Yousafzai if your biggest battle for education is pretending your internet crashed during an online class. You can't be Dr. Adib Rizvi if your idea of healthcare is applying toothpaste to every injury. You can't be Maulana Tariq Jameel if your only sermon is yelling Namaz Paro while skipping it yourself. You can't be Wasim Akram if your only swing is on the playground. You can't be Wakar Yunus if your fastest throw was when you tossed your school bag across the room. What you can be is unstoppable as yourself. You may not be a pine on the top of the hill, but be the strongest little bush in the valley. Don't want to be the sun? Be a bright little star in your mohalla. Don't aim to be someone big. Aim to be you, but with full brightness. It's not where you are, what you have, or who you are with that makes you happy. It's what you think about it. Two people can be stuck in the same traffic jam. One is fuming, screaming, "ये क्या system है?" The other is vibing to Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan with a cold pakola. Same situation, different mind. Shakespeare said, "There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so." So instead of thinking, "I'm not like her," start thinking, "I'm enough just the way I am." Since the beginning of time till the end of time, there will never be another you. So don't waste your one precious life being a second rate copy of someone else. Be you, own it, shine bright. Because the world doesn't need another someone else. It needs you. And keep smiling to win hearts. Third number, how to make someone like you instantly. I will tell you another easy method to win hearts quickly. Meant to say how to make someone like you instantly. The shortcut we always miss. Let's be honest. We all want to be liked, whether it's in school, office, family, or even a random chai dhaba. But here's the secret. People like you when you make them feel liked. What do most people want in life? Health, food, sleep, money, family's happiness, and a feeling of importance. This last one is the real hunger. Every human being wants to be seen, heard, and appreciated. It could be an old aunt sharing stories, a shopkeeper doing his job, or even our own parents at home. They all crave appreciation. Just one kind word, a small compliment, or using someone's name can make their whole day. What not to do? Don't give fake compliments. That's flattery. Don't be selfish. People can feel it. Instead, be real, be kind, be present. I will tell you some daily life tricks that really work. Notice people, not just their clothes, but their efforts. Say thank you for food, for help, for anything. Use names. It's the sweetest sound to any person. Don't wait for a reason to be nice. Just be nice. You don't need money or looks to win hearts. You just need to make people feel valued. So go out there, appreciate someone today because when you make others feel important, you become unforgettable. Fourth thing, talking is great, but listening is even better. Talk less, listen more. So imagine this. Your class photographer has just arrived and you are holding it in your hands. So imagine this. You meet someone at a wedding or a school event. You say salam, they say walaikum salam. You both smiled. And then total silence. Like exam hall में paper मिलने के बाद वाली silence. You both grab your phones, even though your mobile is switched off. Let's be honest. We have all been there. Awkward, boring, confused. But here's the secret. Number one, become a 5-star listener. Let me tell you what happened. I once met this uncle, a botanist, basically plants ka doctor. Now me, I can't even keep a dhania alive. Every plant I touch either dries or dies. But that day, I did something magical. I listened and nodded like I'm from Harvard. Asked smart things like, "Oh, wow, sunlight gives stress to plants?" He kept talking, I kept nodding. He thought I was a genius. Later, he told our host, "That girl is a great conversationalist." Excuse me, sir. I said nothing. But that's the secret. If you want to look interesting, be interested. People don't want noise. They want someone who actually listens without checking their Insta every 3 seconds. Secret number 2. Learn from the silent storm. Let me tell you a story. Not of a prince, not of a politician, but of a man who was invisible. He walked into press clubs where no one noticed him. His Urdu broken. His confidence even more shattered. He sat in the back. No mic, no camera, no voice. Reporters mocked him. तू मीडिया में? चल निकल. ये तेरे बस की बात नहीं. He didn't reply. Didn't clap back on Facebook. Didn't try to prove anyone wrong with long tweets or fake English. Instead, he listened. He watched every anchor, studied every word. He took notes while others took selfies. Day by day, he sat in silence until one day he wasn't in the audience anymore. He was on the panel, primetime live TV. Every word of his quoted, every sentence trending. How? He let the world laugh while he quietly built himself. And today, when Pakistan thinks of bold journalism, sharp wit, and fearless truth telling, they don't just think of a name, they think of a phenomenon. Ladies and gentlemen, that silent observer was none other than Irshad Bhatti. Patience made him powerful, listening made him legendary. You don't need British accent, Gucci shoes, or viral filters to shine. You just do one thing right, listen like it's your superpower. Next time someone's talking, put your phone away, make eye contact, and say, "Whoa!" Then, trust me, they will love you for it. Because in this world full of TikTokers and overtalkers, a good listener is a rare gem. Talking is like plain roti, but listening, that's hot pizza with extra cheese. जो सुनता है, वो जीता है. Number 5. The secret to making friends. Let's close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. Your class photographer's just arrived and you're holding it in your hands. Think carefully. Whose face do you look for first? Of course, your own. The simple thought teaches us something very important today. The truth is, we all love talking about ourselves. How we beat level 99 in a video game, how we scored a goal in football, how we got full marks in a math quiz. Or maybe barely passed, but still survived. We love when someone asks us, "How are you? What's new? Tell me more." But here's the secret I'm about to reveal. Are you ready? If you want to make a lot of friends, if you want people to like you, don't just talk about yourself. Instead, be curious about them. Ask your friends, "Hey, what did you do this weekend? Wow, how did you solve this tricky puzzle? What's your favorite game?" Because everyone loves to talk about themselves. Let me tell you a funny example. In my school, there was a girl named Ikra. Ikra had a magic trick. What was her trick? Whenever someone bought something new, a pencil box or shiny new shoes, Ikra would always say, "Wow, that's amazing! Where did you get it? I love it!" And just like magic, people loved talking to Ikra. They felt happy. They felt important. Ikra never showed off her own things. Instead, she made others feel special about their things. And guess what? Ikra had more friends than anyone else in class. So, what if we all become like Ikra, the friend maker? Let me tell you a story. There was a blind man who had to stay in the hospital. He couldn't see anything and sometimes felt lonely and hopeless. In the same room, there was another patient whose bed was next to the window. Every day, that man would describe what he saw outside the window. He would say things like, "There are children playing happily in the park. The sun is beaming. A group of boys are flying kites high in the sky. Birds are singing sweet songs. It's such a beautiful world out there." Listening to these stories, the blind man would smile, imagine those scenes, and slowly felt hopeful and alive again. Then, soon after, the patient next to the window was discharged. The blind man also had his surgery and finally got his eyesight back. After he was brought back to his room, the first thing he did was rush to the window. But what did he saw? Nothing. Just a plain wall, no kites, no children, no park. Just a wall. The blind man was confused. But later, a nurse told him, "The patient who shared this room with you was himself very sick. He knew there was nothing outside, but he shared those beautiful pictures, those beautiful scenes with you every day, only to keep your hope alive." The man did not forget that kind man. Even when he grew old, he always remembered how kind he was. Why? Because he cared. So, my dear friends, here's the secret formula to making friends: be kind, be present, ask questions, be curious about them, and most importantly, be genuinely interested in others. Because when you do that, you will not make just one or two friends, you will make thousands of wonderful friends who love being around you. Number six, try to see through someone else's eyes. The superpower you never knew you had: empathy. Have you ever wished that you could read people's mind? Like before you walks into your boss's office, and before he even opens his mouth, you knew whether you are getting a promotion or you're about to start your career as a full-time Uber driver. Well, good news, you already had this superpower called empathy. Yes, that ancient dusty word your teacher used 100 times. But today, let me show you how can this boring word can actually save your career, your marriage, your friendship, and sometimes even your life. A group of students were working on a group project. Everyone was chatting, contributing, exchanging ideas, except for one girl, Aisha. Aisha is very quiet. She barely speaks. She is just sitting there silently scribbling. Naturally, the rest of the group starts to whisper, "Yeah, she's so lazy." She doesn't care. She is just freeloading. One brave soul finally approaches teacher. "Sir, Aisha isn't doing anything." And the teacher says, "Did you talk to her?" "Sir, talk? We are here to judge, not to communicate." Well, turns out Aisha is new in town. She is nervous. She is shy. She doesn't know how to break into conversations. The moment they finally speaks to her, Aisha blooms like a flower. She shares brilliant ideas, works hard, and becomes one of the best contributors. All she needed was a little empathy. Most people aren't lazy, they are just uncomfortable. Most people aren't difficult, they are just afraid. Most people aren't careless, they are just unheard. We live in a world full of noise. Everyone is speaking, everyone is shouting, everyone wants to be heard, but very few are listening. We judge quickly, we form opinions instantly. But what if, for just a moment, we pause and try to see through someone else's eyes? Let me take you to one of the most painful chapters of my country's history. It was October 8th, 2005. A powerful earthquake struck northern Pakistan. In just 50 seconds, entire town vanished. Homes collapsed, school turned into rubble. Thousands of people, children, parents, teachers, were trapped beneath the debris. The government tried, but the scale was too massive. Helicopters couldn't reach every mountain village. Roads were broken, winter was approaching. At that moment, something remarkable happened. Pakistani ordinary, everyday people stood up. Not because someone ordered them, not because of any political campaign, not because any personal gain. They stood up because they saw. They saw the faces of children shivering in tents. They saw parents searching for their missing loved ones. They saw schools flattened into dust. And when you truly see someone's pain, you don't wait for instructions. You don't need anyone to push you. Your heart takes over. University students skipped classes to collect donations. Truck drivers offered free rides to carry food and blankets. Doctors rushed to set up field hospitals. Housewives cooked food for strangers they never met. Even children brought their savings, their tiny pocket money, and dropped it into donation boxes. There were no titles, no positions, no politics. Only one thing united them: empathy. This is the lesson. When you try to control people, you may achieve temporary silence. But when you care, when you see through their eyes, you build unity. You inspire action. And you build far more powerful than authority. You build trust in friendship, in leadership, in family. This principle remains the same. The world doesn't need more people who can speak louder. The world needs more people who can see clearer. Because when you see through someone else's eyes, you don't control them, you connect with them. In history, there's a secret weapon more powerful than any army, any tank, or any bomb. The force that changed ordinary people into heroes. A force that has changed fate of nations. It is called ownership. Let me take you to one of the most difficult moments of human history. World War II, Britain, Nazi Germany had crushed Europe. France had fallen. The powerful German Luftwaffe rained bombs over the London. The world believed the Britain would surrender, and yet it didn't. Was it because of the strength of British military? Yes, but that's only the half the story. The real secret is this: every citizen of Britain became part of this war. Housewives turned into air raid wardens. Children practiced evacuation drills. Factory workers, men, women, worked day and night producing weapons and planes. Farmers planted more crops, families donated pot, pans, and even the church bells melted to build fighter jets. Citizens blacked out their windows during bombing, not because of fear, but because they felt responsible for protecting their country. And then the voice came that united them all: Winston Churchill. His words weren't government orders, it was personal calls to every heart. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight on the fields and even in the streets. We shall never surrender. This sentence united them all. When bombing destroyed their houses, they sang together in the underground shelters. When rationing made life difficult, they shared. When air raid sirens screamed, they stood tall. This is the secret that leaders often forget. People firstly support what they help create, whether it's a war, a business, a movement, anything, or a dream. People support what they help create. You may think empathy is some soft skill, but it's a power skill. You want to survive family dinner politics? Empathy. You want to save your career? Empathy. You want to save your marriage? Empathy. And even if you want to negotiate with your Pakistani mother to avoid eating Karela? Bitter God. Empathy. She says, Beta, eat Karela. It's good for your health. You reply, Ammi, I know you want me to be strong and healthy. That's why you are the best mother in the world. But can I achieve more strength with more biryani instead? Before you criticize, before you snap, before you assume, take a moment and see through someone else's eyes. You know, sometimes the real problem isn't the problem. The real problem is how you see the problem. Thank you.